What's up, peeps? Here you go, Brad. Welcome back. Thank you. Just talk about a little bit what you've done this summer to prepare for the upcoming grind of the season.
It's been a long summer for me. Just outside of basketball and having my newborn son. Thank you. So, and in terms of that, I've kind of put myself on ice, and he was born July 23rd. So in July, is really when I started ramping things up. But everything in my game needs work, especially my ball handling. Always getting better at reading pick and rolls, knowing the coverages, knowing reads, knowing what guys like the ball on the floor. Watching some Dwight clips as well, where he likes the ball, how he sets picks, how he rolls. A little bit of everything, man. Shooting a three off the dribble more. Working on trying to draw contact and get to the free throw line more and shoot more free throws. So it's a little bit of everything. I'm just, you know me, I'm always my biggest critic, and I always feel like I got to get better and better. So I feel like my answer is always going to be everything. I'm improving everything.
How are you going to get more three-point shot attempts? Scott Brooks said that you average about 6.5 attempts. He wants to see you around the 9 and 10 attempt mark. How are you going to create more offense that way?
It's just a matter of shooting, and sometimes, that seems easy, but for me, I'm always about playing the right way and, getting the best shot possible. And sometimes coach wants me to take bad shots. And as crazy as that sounds, like that's what he wants sometimes, and that's kind of an adjustment that I have to make mentally, is that, sometimes you can shoot a contested three, and coach will be okay with it, or just chucking one up from 40, 50 feet and coach will be all right with it. That's something I have to kind of get used to, but I've never had anybody who challenged me to shoot or 23s in a game. I still have yet to do that, and he told me that's something that he still wants to see while he's coaching me. So, when you have a coach like that, I guess I feel like no player would sit here and be like, oh man, I can't do that. But when you have somebody who's giving you that confidence, giving you that green light, it boosts you more. It gives you more confidence in yourself to know that, if coach believes in me, if the team believes in me, I have to do it. I have to do it.
Brad, first of all, congratulations, of course.
Thank you.
Last year, you proved you could play all 82 games. You made your first All-Star team. What does the next level for Bradley Beal in your mind look like?
For me, it's just, it's always, okay, what's next? I feel like, okay, I was an All-Star. You definitely have to be an All-Star again. You can't just be a one-stop show and, fall off. I always have to continue to get better. So obviously that's an individual goal of mine, but I feel like our team goals and what we have is in our locker room and what we want to accomplish, are far more important and better than what I have individually. But I feel like as long as we continue to mesh well on the floor and take care of what we have as a team, all my individual goals and success will take care of itself. But me, I never get caught up in trying to be an all-star and trying to be this and trying to prove myself and all that. I just concern myself with getting better every game. I never let anybody else define my career. Never let anybody else tell me I'm good or better than the next man. I'm myself, my person. I reflect on my own game, and nothing's more important than my team and winning ball games.
Brad, what are those Drew Hanlon workouts like?
They're tough. It's crazy because I've been working with Drew since I was a junior in high school, and it's amazing to see, the amount of time and effort that he puts into it, the number of guys that he has now, and the quality of guys. He works out some of the best players in the league, so, to me, he's the best trainer out there, but his workouts aren't a cakewalk. I'll say that. They're tough, but they get you better.
Brad, what has these first 2 months as a father been like for you? And does being a dad kind of change the way you look at your career in any way?
For one, if you see bags under my eyes, I haven't slept in 2 months. So, but for the most part, I feel like the first 2 weeks, for all those who are parents, the first 2 weeks are brutal. Because he cries, he wakes up every other hour, and I'm a type of guy, like, I have to stay up all night with him. So my girl, she breastfeeds, so it's a two-way street. So I had to, and for me, when he was born, it was definitely an eye-opener to everything. You know, how I view life. My approach is like, okay, now you're a father, and you have to bring him up in today's world, today's civilization, which is totally different than when I grew up and when my parents raised me. So it's kind of flipped in a way. And on top of that, I feel like in terms of basketball, that just gives me something, even more motivation to continue to get better. You know, the fact that he's watching me, he's going to grow up and be mimicking everything that I do. Even watching him now, he even does some of the same stuff that I do. You know, just mannerisms, and it's crazy to see that. And you know, that's definitely a constant push and a motivational growth for me.
Hi, Brad. Brianna from the Angie Morning Show. Speaking of the political realm, kind of, I know last year you were talking about Trump. Things kind of haven't improved. What are your views on that, and could you express the importance of voting?
First, voting is beyond important, you know, because it's this is our world, you know, this is our country, you know, we dictate, you know, we have the freedom to dictate and choose who we want to lead and who we want to run it, you know, and I always feel like we all fought for the right to vote, men, women, African Americans, white, whatever color you may be, you know, we all fought for equal rights. Everybody fought for a right to vote. And it's important that everybody votes. Everybody, you know, whether you just turned 18, whether you just registered, or if you haven't registered, it's important that you do, you know, because every single day, and like you said, since last year, I feel like it hasn't gotten better. You know, we're still dealing with kneeling during the national anthem, and it's like, why? You know, why don't we still get the point of that, you know, but you know, I feel like it is what it is. At this point, you know, you just kind of, for me, I just continue to reach out to the youth, continue to reach out to those who are affected by it every day, who live by it every day, and try to throw my 2 cents in and try to help and point in the right direction and advise and mentor as best as I can, you know, because we need it. We need it. This generation needs it. The world needs it, and it's just love at the end of the day. Because I think as long as we learn and realize that, the world will be a lot better place. But you know, I feel like our mindsets and whatever we have going on, our own personal agendas or personal vendettas, whatever we have, you know, it's not, our focus isn't in the right places. I would just say that as a country.
Brad, to your right, what do you think specifically is a goal for this team for this season?
Well, man, Ted said it best. No excuses. You know, there's no excuse for nothing. You know, we want to win a championship, and it's not easy. We're not sitting here saying it's a guarantee. We're not sitting here saying that it's a cakewalk. You know, but we know it's going to be work. But you know, Ted and Ernie and Coach, they made it happen. We have a team now. I feel like we have the most depth that we've had since I've been here, and maybe even before I've been here. So when we got all the pieces aligned, all the stars aligned, it's just a matter of getting to work tomorrow and getting off to a good start.
Brad, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing great. When your coach was up here, he mentioned one of his closing statements was he would like to see this team, you know, play, stop with the talking. I mean, obviously you guys are a confident group, but I'm wondering, were there any lessons that you learned from last year after saying maybe the Cavs didn't want to play you guys in the first round, or just any lessons that you learned from like being bold and being confident and having, you know, those bold statements?
Not really. Yes and no. I feel like, yeah, because you can't just talk about it, you obviously have to put it into action, but I'm always firm in believing in what you say and what you stand on. Like, I'll never go back and say I regret saying it or I made a mistake saying it. No, because I believe in my teammates, I believe in us, I believe in who we are. You know, sometimes we don't play like it, sometimes we don't have the season we have or have the success that we have down the line, but that doesn't change my opinion on our team. You know, I feel like whatever team I'm on, I'm just confident in my team. You know, and it's the same situation this year, but Coach is absolutely right. Everybody's right, and I've even talked to Coach about it. Like, we're done talking about it. You know, there's nothing more to talk about. There's nothing more to continue to sit here and harp on and say that what we need to get better at. You know, you guys are better than such and such, or the best backcourt. Like, I'm done talking about all that. You know, it's old. It's water on the bridge. You know, the main objective is who wins the championship. That's all that's important.
Last question for me. When you were studying Dwight over the summer, like what nuances did you pick up, and were you able to play with him in a mini camp? Because obviously he's out right now, but were you able to kind of get in a rhythm with him?
Not much, but for what I watched, he's going to make my job a lot easier, and he's going to make everybody's job a lot easier on both ends of the floor because you still have to respect his ability at the rim. He averaged 16 and 13 last year. Like those are great numbers, and in our system, those can increase easily. So, with watching him, if you don't hit him, it's over. He's going to dunk on you, and I love it because I think that's going to get me hyped, just being able to have a big who just flush it on you every time, and somebody who can block some shots if you get beat on defense, because he's a threat on both ends of the floor, so people still have to respect him. I kind of hate that, people are saying, he has to revive his career here and, kind of start all over, but Dwight is Dwight. Dwight has still always had an impact in the game, and we're happy to have him. And he's a big part to what we want to do, for sure.
Going back to what you said about the depth of this team being the best that you've seen, how are you and John, as leaders of this squad, going to impact the bench and have them be productive this season?
Well, we know it always starts with us, but I kind of had like a little motto I had 3 A words that I told Coach in the offseason. I said approach, accountability, and adversity. I feel like those are 3 A words that we need to harp on. Our approach, how we approach each game, how we approach practices, like that starts with John and I. Having the right mindset and having a mindset of getting better, improving, knowing when there's time to joke around, knowing when there's time to be serious, and just getting the job done. Every team is going to go through adversity throughout the year. How do we handle that? John and I, obviously, we have to be able to keep our team under control, making sure that everybody's on the same page, regardless if we're up, we're down, no matter how good we're playing, how bad we're playing, we stay even keel. And then accountability. Everybody is accountable for their mistakes. Everybody's accountable for their play. Everybody's accountable for everything. So, no man is higher than the next, and that's the way we're holding it this year.
I was going to make a joke about whether you guys are the best backcourt in the league, but I'll skip that. With regards to, no boasting, totally get that, but regardless, you guys are, I'm sure, an optimistic bunch about this season, and media day is about optimism. This part of the year is about that. So I'm just wondering, for you, what is your level of optimism, and what particularly has you most optimistic about this team's chances this year?
Oh man, I think it's one, we're young, but we still have our core. We still manage to keep us together. I love that Ted, he didn't give up on us. We continue to come in every year and we continue to talk and we dig ourselves holes, night in, night out sometimes. But I feel like I'm always going to be optimistic. And like you said, every media day is basically optimism. So, on paper, we look great. I'll just say that. You look at us on paper, we look absolutely amazing. But, you obviously have to put it together, put the system together, get the chemistry down for the new guys, and work out all the kinks. But for the most part, I love where we are. I love our chances against anybody, and it's just a matter of us getting out there and getting it done.
You mentioned Dwight's shot blocking ability. How can that change things for you guys who are defending the perimeter, knowing that he's behind you?
Well, two things. One, I don't want it to make us lazy and thinking that we could just rely on Dwight all the time, because there's no guarantee that they're going to call everyone a block shot. They might call some fouls. So it's important that in that aspect of it, that we keep him in mind of knowing that we need him in the game. And on top of that, that he's pretty much an emergency. He's always going to be your emergency break whenever you need it. And so I think in that regards, I think it challenges us to keep guys out the paint, but I think in a way it kind of eases us a little bit mentally, knowing that we have somebody who can still protect the paint if that does happen, if a breakdown does happen.